Yeah, I'd like 6,000 chicken fajitas, please.
I beg your pardon?
6,000 chicken fajitas.
Customer brought us this Subaru because he was complaining that reverse just doesn't work anymore. So let's see what's going on. So we got clutch in right now, clutch out. Whoa! Oh, oh, oh. Oh. And we're up on the lift too, so there's not any load on the wheels. And that's still grinding out of reverse when you let the clutch out. All right. We gotta take the transmission out. We back. Got a 2012 Subaru Outback. It's got a nasty grind and pop out in reverse, so the transmission needs to come out. Some fresh concrete. Brandon's dying. So here's the tools you're gonna need to do this job. This is just kind of a basic rundown. There's probably a wrench or two that I'm forgetting, but it should at least get you started for sure. We like to use the impact guns. They make things go a little bit faster. You don't need to have them, but a 1/2-inch drive and a cordless 3/8 optimally to make things just kind of flow better. Big pry bar, hammer, water, and definitely some coffee. Flashlight, of course. One with the magnet on the bottom is awesome because you can kind of, you know, put it under the car and it can just hang out. Some needle nose pliers, flathead, a little pick guy for getting the shift cables off, 12 mil wrench, 17 mil wrench. Ratcheting 17 mil wrench is optional, but highly recommended because it will make the job go by a lot faster. There's actually quite a few instances where you're gonna need that. Little pry bar, and then your basic socket wrenches, 1/2-inch, 3/8 drive, some longer extensions for those. 10 mil, 12 mil, 14 mil, 17 mil. The wobbles help a lot. Again, you don't need them for this particular job. 32 mil for the axle nuts. And then the weird one is the T70 Torx bit you're gonna need for the drain plug to drain the transmission fluid. And then just make sure you have some plastic bags and a Sharpie so you can label all your hardware and bolts and stuff as it comes off. You're gonna need a transmission jack. Sometimes you can use a regular floor jack, but it is really sketchy, and I would definitely recommend using ratchet straps or something to hold it in that instance, and probably have some help. Don't try that by yourself. And then this guy right here, you're gonna need an engine support bar or something similar, because Subaru designed it so that both the motor mounts are connected to the transmission and not the block. So once you take those mounts out, there's nothing to hold the motor in. And that should pretty much get you started. There might be a thing or two I'm forgetting, but let's get to it. See how we got this thing out. All right, what the hell are we taking out of this thing, bro? Looks like the entire cross member needs to come out, huh? Might be able to finagle it. Yeah, so what if we just took these bolts off?
The ones that hold the entire thing up?
There's other mount bolts, no?
Those go to the transmission.
All of them do?
All of them do. Nothing bolts to the engine to hold it in. The engine bolts to the transmission, which is...
Well, yeah. Okay.
So we'll just let the engine fall. That's it.
So we're just gonna drop the whole engine on the ground.
I found one front mount for the engine. That's good enough for me.
It's got one mount, dude. That's all it needs.
Just let it rest on all of these hoses.
So from the looks of things, we're gonna be taking out this entire lower cross member. Unfortunately, Subaru wasn't thinking when they designed this, and they have the motor mounts are attached to the transmission and not the engine. So We're gonna have to probably put an engine support beam across the strut towers up top, leave the front mount in so it doesn't fall out.
That's part of the subframe.
Oh, Jesus.
We might as well just drop the whole engine. At this point, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Either that or we just don't drop the subframe and use this mount along with the fender brace one to hold the
Yeah, how fun do you think it's gonna be to finagle that out of there with the,
Ow, if I could look up, I would tell you.
I think the steering column is in the way.
No.
You think you can
mount axle
finagle
off.
it around
Yeah,
that?
we'll just unbolt these from the tranny.
I saw in the procedure is recommending just dropping the whole cross member.
Broken. No, we won't drop the whole cross member.
Yeah, I think if we drop the cross member in this, the engine's probably gonna fall out.
Yeah, I don't want to do extra. And I'm pretty sure we can get it out without dropping the cross member.
Work slightly harder to work slightly smarter, maybe. We'll see.
Only time will tell.
We'll see. We're gonna try to leave the cross member in this thing. And we'll see how far that gets us. Not very far. First things first, we're gonna drain the transmission fluid. It's a T70 Torx, which you don't have. So go buy one from your local auto parts store. Oh, and since Brandon doesn't want to tell you anything, he's taking the exhaust off right now.
Yeah.
Just this little section with the cat to about here.
I'm broken today, so don't expect much. Let's see that. No.
Yeah, I need this.
I want the extension.
Whoops. Don't mind me, dog. Just spilling transmission fluid all over your arm. And not mine.
Just to fill you in, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today and my neck doesn't move, so it'll be interesting.
Was everything 14s?
Except for the 12 nuts.
Hey, you guys mind if I make an obnoxious amount of noise over here?
I hate you. Okay. Now that we got the fluid out, the exhaust is out of the way, we're gonna take this stuff out to get to the drive shaft, get to the shift cables. We're gonna look at getting this off, probably take most of the bolts out, but a couple. And then a couple of things up top, like the starter and the slave. We'll work on getting the axles out in the front. And then we're gonna see what we have to do to hold the engine up while we unbolt the mounts for the transmission. I'm dropping everything today.
Oh my God. As with any large project, label and bag all your bolts so you don't forget where they go. Well. Strange. Two of those were really tight. The other two, not so tight. Take them out.
I'll hold the drive shaft, you get the nut.
Get right up in there, man. Show the viewers the thread count.
Hold on, phone's ringing.
God damn it. Show them. Show them the thread pitch on those bolts. They need to know. See that? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. God damn, phone's ringing off the hook, dog. We're gonna fill these 2 bays we got. We've got 1 10 or this is 12. We got one 12 mil right here holding on this little bracket for the shift cables. We're gonna zip that off, and then hopefully, do you think we're gonna be able to take them off up top, or do you think we need to take that little box assembly out?
We might be able to reach down there.
We'll see what they look like up top, and if they're easy to get to, we'll take them off there, and if they're not, then we'll take them off right there.
Oh, how about we just take them off on this side? Because they're right there. It literally comes this way forward, does a 180, and then comes back to right here.
Genius, Subaru, genius.
Yeah.
Are we gonna take this little linkage out for the steering column?
I'm gonna see if we don't have to. I'd like to
you
take
wanna
that whole
try
mount
to-
out. So
Take it out up top.
just unbolt this and unbolt those 2, and then the tranny should be completely away from it. It could f***ing stay in there for all I care, as long as it's not touching the tranny anymore.
We're gonna make it a pain in the ass to line it back up.
I mean, if we can lift it up and out of the way, then it shouldn't. Those are just hoses above it, they'll bend.
We're gonna take these bolts off the side of the mount on either side, these lower ones, while we got it up in the air. We're not gonna be able to get to them from up top very easily. They are 17 mils and they're very tight. Bap.
Always brace the transmission before you drop the mount.
Yeah, so this guy's a nifty tool for when you're working on a lift. If you're doing this at home on jack stands, you're gonna probably just use a regular jack. So you've got the ability to move this up and down as you wish. Go
That
ahead.
way when these come out, it doesn't just fall.
Fall on your head.
Okay.
Would have been way easier to just take those 4 off and leave that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't do it the way I did it. Just take these 4 off instead of these, because that way you can drop the mount itself with this cross member piece.
Yeah. Now we're gonna take weight off. Oh, that doesn't even drop down far at all. That's probably because all the weight's up front.
Yeah. You want me to try to jack the nose up? Or no, the front mount's right in the front.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you. Okay. So Cliff's notes, just take the shift cables off right here.
Yeah, it's probably much easier. So we're gonna open this up because that's probably the easiest way to get these shift cables out, considering it's not inside the car.
Yeah, so we made the mistake of thinking that it'd be easier to just take them off over on this side.
One was.
But it turns out that, yeah, it was only easy to get one of them off that way. The other one is way up in there. So,
Oh, these aren't bad.
yeah, it's a million times easier to just take them off on this side. So you can see that this guy, it's got a little retaining clip on the back side. Just go ahead and pop that clip, get that off. And what's that guy got? One of those little skinny clips?
Something. I'm guessing these springs have something to do with it.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty weird. It's cool. Wonder if you push on that pink thing.
Come on. Okay, that one's off.
Yeah. The title for this video can be Learn how to take the transmission out of your Outback without removing the cross member from 2 people who have never done it before.
Yeah. I'm just trying to clean this grease away so I can see roughly how. Okay, so that's adjustment. I think that just.
Oh, it just pops off?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That
That's
one's
so much
even
easier.
easier than the other one. All right. The one on this side, literally just gently pry it and it'll pop off. It's got a little nipple on there to hold it on.
A little rubber piece.
Yeah, this one, like I said, it's got the little tab back here and you just separate them and pull it off. And then we're gonna go ahead and take these little horseshoe clips off right here and then slide the cables out. All right, so the name of the game is always smarter, not harder. So we're gonna go ahead and just zip off this 32 mil axle nut. And this little guy right here on the ball joint. And we're gonna go ahead and try to pry the axles out like that, leaving the strut and everything on so it doesn't affect the alignment. We'll see if it works. If not, we might have to take off a couple other things, but that's gonna be a first try. So we got that ball joint separated down there. You can lift that up and away and the axles just pop right out. And now we just gotta take a pry bar, pry up against the transmission and pop these guys out and the axles are done. Give me a little more. There we go. Just like that. Give it the old jiggle wiggle, dude. Yes, sir.
And that's how you do axles in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Flathead. Access panel gets you to the other flathead. Got 2 clips right here. This bad boy comes right off. Look at all the room we got over here now.
Okay. This ain't bad.
We got 2 connectors right here. The slave cylinder's got to come off.
I already told them.
Upper starter bolt. Yeah, but now we got the GoPro shot, dude. We all up in there. And then we got some upper mount bolts here. And we're probably going to put that little chain guy on these before we zip those off. The brace across the strut towers. Slave cylinder's off, starter's out. There's an upper bolt right here with the ground cable on it. And then there's the lower bolt that we already took out. Got the 2 connectors off. We got the 1 uppercase bolt off right here.
That holds on the 2 connectors.
Yeah, the one that holds on the 2 connectors with the little bracket. And I think we're good to hook up that guy. Right?
Yep.
And then we'll zip off the engine mount bolts
Yeah.
and the whole thing will just be dangling in there.
Just how you want it.
Yeah. So probably the most difficult part of this whole job is taking out this bracket on the driver's side. It's kind of hard to see, but it's triangulated and it goes down to that motor mount. And there's this bolt that goes into the side. It's got really close clearance to the frame rail. So what I actually did was I removed this bracket and there was another one, this guy, this gold bracket. And that way I could get a non-ratcheting wrench, started on the end of the bolt, cracked it loose, and then I got it out a little bit past the edge of this so I could get a ratcheting wrench on there, and then I ratcheted it out the rest of the way. And then believe it or not, if you pivot it around a little bit and kind of give it a little twist, you can actually get it out past the side of the block and lift it up off the stud and everything without taking the AC lines or the steering column off. So I think now we're at the point where we're gonna get up under this thing and
Try to pull it out.
yeah, loosen the case bolts and try to pull this thing out. So we got those two nuts on the bottom, the bolts right up there just above them, one guy up top there. We're gonna leave these two bolts in on the sides, and then we're gonna lower the car down so we can get our transmission jack up under there and we can sit down and get this tranny pulled out. There you have it, folks. Tranny came out just fine, no issues. You can totally leave the cross member in here. Under the recommended procedure for removing the transmission, it was recommending to pull the whole cross member and steering column and everything. And yeah, you definitely don't need to do that. We looked around it and it definitely looked like it was possible to just leave it in there. It's probably honestly a little bit better because you can actually leave this front mount in, holding the engine up, and then also have it supported in the back with your little brace. You don't have to worry so much about the alignment getting messed up because the cross member stayed in it and everything. So we'll probably go ahead and throw the axles back in it and tie those up so that the car can still roll. And this is gonna get sent off to the transmission shop, and they're probably gonna find that reverse has a bent shift fork or something.